Alright, everybody, welcome back to the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. We are switching gears a little bit. We were talking Tigers and some Lions. Now we're going to talk about hockey, which is weird when it's 90 degrees outside. But we're going to talk about it anyways. Hey, it's kind of fitting. We're talking about 90-degree weather and hockey, considering that there is going to be an expansion draft so that they can play in some pretty warm weather.
It feels good to think about ice right now, though.
That is. It's
sitting
like
in a cold
kinda
ice
nice.
rink, that actually sounds all right.
It sounds not bad. So expansion draft means that obviously the teams can only protect a certain amount of players, and we'll break it down for you guys quickly. There's two options teams can go. One of two routes. They can either choose to save or protect just 8 skaters from any position and a goalie, or they can choose to protect, I believe it is 4, I can't see the graphic right now, but I believe it is 4 defensemen, oh, sorry, there we go. 3 forwards, 1 defenseman, or 3 defensemen, 7 forwards, and a goalie. There we go. So those are the two options they can go. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to read off of something that's moving backwards, so there we go. But those are the two options that they have, and all first and second year unsigned draft choices, players with no movement clauses, they're exempt, obviously, they're kind of already protected. And those are going to be announced June 21st at the NHL Awards, so that's coming up pretty soon. And we kind of have an idea of who the Red Wings are going to try and protect?
We do, but we don't. I mean, you know, I think everyone should be on the table, first of all, you know, that is actually eligible. You know, but the good thing is that it does appear as though the Wings will be able to unload, you know, a few of the contracts. You got to just hope. I think the biggest thing here is Jimmy Howard or Peter Mrazek, and I would assume that maybe Jimmy Howard would be the guy that would be in play, but they got to get rid of one of those salaries. You hope that they possibly, you know, get drafted by, you know, the Las Vegas Knights. Not that you want to see Jimmy Howard leave. I think he's a good guy and, you know, good for the area, and he's certainly played, you know, well last season, but that to me is the biggest piece right there. And if you can just start moving money because of what Ken Holland has gotten this franchise into, that's all I want to see. You know, Jonathan Ericsson is a guy that makes over $4 million a year. Justin Abdelkader is a guy that makes over $4 million a year for the next, like, 10 years. And is he really a big contributor for this Red Wings team? I don't think that he's all that talented. So, you know, to me, leave everyone, you know, out there as much as possible and see what happens and hope that some of that salary cap, it starts to, you know, go down a little bit. Then you have some more flexibility.
Yeah. So the big question, like you said, is kind of the goalie question, mostly just because, you know, you have to pick one
Money
to protect.
too, yeah, absolutely.
Who do you think that they will choose to protect?
I think that they'll protect Peter Mrazek, just because I think Jimmy Howard actually will get drafted or could possibly get drafted. And, you know, I get Peter Mrazek isn't very consistent. At the same time, he doesn't have a very long contract. So to me, if you give him a chance to go out there as a starting goalie next year and say that Las Vegas does take Jimmy Howard, that gets half of that, you know, $9 million basically off the books in your goaltending depth. And to me, that's really the move that you make. But it's only because Jimmy Howard could possibly be drafted. I would like to see Jimmy stay. I think he's the better goalie right now. But to me, I think that would be the one. Because if Peter Mrazek isn't protected, I don't think he's getting drafted.
No, and I actually think that both of them, I don't think either of them are going to get drafted.
True. No, and that
which
could
would
happen
be,
too.
I think, an ideal situation. I don't know if fans are really rooting for either one of those guys to
I just think
be
from a
gone.
money standpoint, that's all it is. You know,
Yeah.
Ken Holland has just taken this team and put them right there at the salary cap ceiling. And you got to start getting rid of some payroll in some ways, especially, I mean, gosh, you're trying to get some young players, you're trying to get better, you want to go out there in free agency and maybe sign a guy. You need $4.5 million or $5 million to be able to do that. That's
very fair. So we talked hockey, we talked Tigers, we're going to talk a little bit of basketball, but we need your guys' questions. #7SportsCave. What do you want to know about the Tigers, about, heck, the Pistons, NHL? We can talk a little bit more about the Red Wings expansion draft, what their new season at LCA might look like. They got their first preseason game is September 23rd. So mark it on your calendars, hockey fans. Pete's Arena, LCA, Little Caesars Arena, whatever you want to call it. That's when we'll have Red Wing hockey at the new arena.
Which by the way, I mean, I do feel like both teams aren't good, you know, and I think that's pretty obvious. I don't think that that's, you know, me being negative or mean. I do think there will be a nostalgic feeling for a little while as people just want to go see the arena, but I do feel like that'll kind of, you know, wear out as the season goes along if the teams are bad. Again, you got to just hope that the Pistons are good, but, you know, to me, I don't have a whole lot of hope that the Red Wings are going to be better.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, stick around. We'll be right back, guys.